Okay, it's Wednesday morning, hanging with my buddy Aiden here. Erin is off on a work trip to Houston today, so I'm gonna showcase a little bit of what the dad life looks like solo. Started the day off, got him some food. Now we are gonna get him ready for daycare, but I have something I need to do first, and that is 100 push-ups. I started a challenge in April, 100 push-ups a day for all the dads out there, soon-to-be dads, veteran dads. We are doing 100 push-ups a day, and then in May, it's gonna be mile a day May. So I'm gonna get that done right now, then we're gonna get him ready for daycare. I'm gonna go on a run, and today's lineup is podcast, calls, hammer out some systems for 86 Media. It's a new company that I am working with and on. Elizabeth is a badass, so I'm very much looking forward to talking more about that in the future. But for now, we're just gonna get to work, make it happen. Time to hammer some nails. Okay, the first step for Aiden to go to daycare these days is to make sure he has enough food for the day. So he is eating a whole bunch. God bless my wife. She most of the time puts this stuff together, but I cut the apples. He's got a nice little lunch in here, some snacks. He's still weaning off his bottles. We get that prepped, put to the front door. Whoa! Tumble, dude. Keep going. Can you help me get my shorts? We gotta get some running shorts. What are we wearing today? Huh? What do you want to get? Hey, Bubby. Are you ready for daycare? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, Aiden's off at daycare. I'm gonna get ready for my run. One of the things that I've been working really hard to do in the first year of his life is to learn to be better at compartmentalizing my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions so that I can be more present. I've read a ton of books on high performers and the best athletes, entrepreneurs, and one of the common themes that I see is they're really, really good at being present in the moment and going all in. And they learn to compartmentalize their thoughts, feelings, and actions so that, let's say you're practicing your craft, you're not having your mind be elsewhere as you're in that present moment practicing that craft. And that's been a struggle of mine my whole life, is my feet are here, but my mind is elsewhere. And I'm trying to change that, especially with my son, Aiden, and then hopefully blessed with future kids where can be present with them and really focus on them. And then when I put my time elsewhere, I'm really focused on that thing, knowing that they're safe and sound and wherever they're at and whatever they're doing. Of course, it's going to be a work in progress. It's never going to be perfect, but what that kind of looks like is today and every morning when I wake up, I try to get 20 minutes of time in the red light to read, and I just like zone in on that. And then it's time for Aiden. He wakes up, my wife and I feed him, we take him. I typically am the one that bring him to daycare and she picks him up in the afternoon. So the morning hour is trying my best, doing my best to just focus and be with him. Doesn't always happen that way. Within that hour, I try to also find 10 minutes to just chunk some time to figure out exactly what needs to happen that day. Is there any appointments that I failed to set that I need to set? Certain things like that. And then I get into my day. So the next chunk of today is going to be a run where I'm just gonna be really focused on this run, then really focus on the podcast, then my meetings, and then some deep work in the afternoon, so on and so forth. Compartmentalization, I think, is a vital piece to being a high performer and achieving the goals, missions, dreams, whatever it is your mind is focused on achieving. Little snack right before my run. Also having some Relight unflavored. I've been trying to reduce the amount of just additives that I have in my life. The unflavored, I don't really like the taste at all, so I just get it down. not the best tasting, but I know that over the long run, if I can just reduce the amount of additives, natural flavors, I already have enough of those in other stuff that I have, like those 2 snacks that I just showed you. So just finding little ways to reduce that. I still have electrolytes every now and then that are the flavored kind, but I've really just been using this and then Redmond's salt as my staple, and we'll be doing that going into the summer as well. Okay, this morning, 3 miles tempo on deck. Gonna do an afternoon workout, and then 3 miles with Aiden, a little bit slower pace. Let's let it rip. Run is complete. Just set a PR in the 5K, 6:25 average. I've never actually tried to PR my 5K over the past 3 years of running. It's all about building a base and just logging miles, 100 miles a month. And now that I'm going into summer of 2024, I kind of readjusted my goals. I have the base, and now I'm trying to increase my speed in small chunks. So one of those is 5K and then a 10K. Going to attack that the next couple months. Meanwhile, on the strength side of things, do a little bit more CrossFit work, hybrid style of workouts that are maintaining my strength and building a stronger base in those areas. By the end of this year, I'd like to be a lot quicker than I am and stronger in certain things such as squat and deadlift. I'm already great on the bench, so I'm really just fine-tuning weak areas. I'm going to maintain the base I have for distance running, so 100 miles per month, and then just go from there. Next up for the day, I'm going to make a quick little smoothie, get the podcast studio ready, and then rip a podcast with one of my really good friends, Baldo. On days where I have a bunch going on, I typically start my meal consumption with loaded smoothie, and then maybe 2 or 3 hours later, I'll have 4 eggs, some turkey bacon on toast, something like that. But right now, we're gonna go through the smoothie. I pack it with collagen, whatever protein we have in our closet at the moment. Typically I do whey, but this is what Erin eats, so I'm just gonna eat it now. Creatine, colostrum, beetroot, MSW, gut, glutamine, some almond milk, some seeds. I think this is chia, flax, something like that. Avocado, banana. I'll have some granola in that on top of that. But I typically just load them up. During the summer, I'll add extra calories in there. Sometimes I even add in ice cream and things like that because I burn so much that I just need extra calories. And the easiest way to do that is smoothies, especially when I'm on the go. So if you've ever had one of mine, there's people that have come through my house that they have stayed here or they've been here during the day co-working with me. I make a mean ass smoothie, just saying. I am a Purely Elizabeth addict. I've actually thought about potentially creating a performance granola. I've noticed that in the market, there's no protein performance granola for athletes and people that are on the go a lot. I love Purely Elizabeth, but I think there's a gap in the market where you could create some kind of meal replacement granola or something like that, where I could just eat on an airplane with my hands or something, and you get all your macros just from that. All right, the podcast studio is ready to rip. Let's freaking go. Just got little man from daycare. Stacked day of podcasting calls. I didn't even record. It was packed. In a good way. You okay? You ready to go outside? We're gonna go on a little run together, cook up some dinner, then the whole nighttime routine, and I'm gonna open my laptop back up and keep cranking away. Hey. We love you. Have a great dinner. Second run of the day, another 3-mile loop. This one is more for Aiden than it is for me, but get to tack on 3 more miles this month as it's heading towards summer and it's starting to get lighter earlier in the morning. I'm probably gonna flip to running with him before he goes to daycare, and then he'll get to go outside at daycare, and then we can go on a walk at night. We try to get him outside at least twice a day, so he was outside of daycare, and now he's gonna be outside with me during this run. Maybe we'll do a walk after dinner, we'll see. That's how we roll these days. Okay, for Aiden's dinner, we got some rice noodles, some ground beef, some turkey. We also have some little sweet potato bites I'm gonna give them. They're cooling down right now. For me, I'm gonna have some ground beef with some yellow bird. Got some almond flour pizza crust right here I'm gonna have. Just put a little bit of sauce there. It's also Thursday, towards the end of the week. I like to cheat a little bit. So we're gonna have some chicken tenders. We're gonna heat them up in the air fryer here in the Ninja. One of the things you have to get used to with a young child is a mess. I think it's been easier for me to deal with that than Erin. I'm a little bit messier, I would say. You can't let it frustrate you. So if you're the type of person that tries to clean as you're going, I don't think that's gonna work. You're gonna have to switch to just like being present and then finding gaps to clean and just being okay with that. It's not always gonna be perfect. We only have one right now and it's a mess, so I can only imagine once we add more into the mix. Solid baby dessert right here. Baked plantains. They're frozen. You heat them up a little bit. He loves them. Next up, a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of making Aiden's lunch for tomorrow. He likes apples as well, so I cut them up in little squares and rectangles, put them in his lunch pail. Aiden is now in bed. Gonna put some music on and clean this shit up. Make his lunch, get everything ready for tomorrow, then do some more work and figure out what I need to get done before tonight and going into tomorrow. One hell of a day. What a day. It's moments like these that I just have the utmost respect for single moms and dads out there. It is incredible what people do on a daily basis. Don't get me wrong, it's so worth it. I love taking care of Aiden and working hard with Erin to make it all happen. And that's why I just have a ton of respect for anybody that does it alone. It is a full-time job on top of the job you already have, day in and day out, to put food on the table and everything else that goes into it. I'm going to wrap up my day, sit here, watch the sunset, and then get on the couch. I got some podcast editing to do. I got to tie a few loose ends for some of the projects that I'm working on, and going to go into my sleep feeling grateful. Looking forward to having Erin back tomorrow. My parents fly into town as well, so it's going to be a fun week, and really just looking forward to continuing to put content out like this that really shows behind the scenes, everything that goes into a day, and the effort, the work, the connections, the energy, the lessons, the ideas. Anybody out there that is interested in entrepreneurship, fitness, family, please connect with me. Let's make the world a better place together. Drive on.